Yay. That's right, folks. It's another Friday. Welcome to another edition of Submitted the Video Blog with your very excellent straight-jacketed host, Chemo. Hi, how are you? A little Breaking Benjamin to start the show this week. All worth it. All perfect. Now, before we start the show, forgive me, I've got a little bit of a sore throat and a little bit of scratchy nose and stuff because we were handing out candy to kids last night in the cold, and I'm a little under the weather, so just kind of deal with it just a little bit. But we will get into the Halloween thing in a moment. First off, let's get into a topic everybody's been interested in, obviously. Let's talk giraffes, shall we? Now, there was a question going around Facebook this week that simply stated that if you answered the question incorrectly, you had to turn your face into a giraffe. And I noticed there were a lot of people that had to turn their faces into giraffes, and they started arguing and debating the answer of the question. Now, we're going to clear the whole thing up right now. All right? Because some of these people gave the answer that they thought was right, but it turns out that, it was just dumb. I'm gonna answer this question, and I'm gonna, oh shit, I gotta turn my head into a giraffe. Why? Because you didn't answer it correctly, that's why. Now, here's the question. And we're going to break the question down a little bit, too, because this question bugged me. It's 3 a.m. in the morning, you hear a knock at the door. Okay, anybody knocking at my door at 3 a.m. in the morning, it better be a goddamn emergency. All right? You find out it's your parents. Okay, first off, the only people's parents that ever knock on anybody's door at 3 a.m. in the morning are 86-year-old gray-haired people that just woke up an hour before that and they're a little bored. All right? Now, they knock on your door at 3 a.m. in the morning so you can feed them breakfast. Now, once again, here we go. Anybody up at 3 o'clock in the morning to eat breakfast it's got to be in their 80s and fucking senile. All right? The only other people that are up at 3 in the morning are usually people between 20, 30, and 40 that are going to bed at 3 in the morning, so they're not going to be in the mood to make anybody any fucking breakfast to begin with. Personally, my parents show up at my house at 3 a.m. in the morning to get breakfast. I'm handing them the fucking ATM card and sending them up the street to Denny's or to that shitty truck stop that's up on the corner because, after all, the food's about the same. Yeah, I'll probably get hell from Denny's for that, but I don't care. Now, the rest of the question went through that they gave you a list of things that you were supposed to feed them for breakfast. And the question after the whole thing is, what do you open first? Now, a lot of people gave the answer that the first thing they open is the door. Really? Really? The first thing you open is the door. So, let me get this straight. So, you're going to lay in bed with your eyes closed. You're going to get out of bed with your eyes closed. Try to put your slippers on with your eyes closed. Going down the hallway with your eyes closed. Trying to fumble around through your furniture and everything else with your eyes closed. To open the front door with your eyes closed. Not looking to see if it's another burglar at 3 o'clock in the morning going to blow your head off with a fucking shotgun. Alright? Opening the door, obviously not the correct answer. And for those of you that did give it, I'm sorry. You can debate and argue this all you want. But once you realize that you had your eyes closed the entire time when you left from the bedroom to the door to get your head blown off, shouldn't that give you a hint and a half that it should have been your eyes? That's right. Alright? Obviously at 3 a.m. in the morning you're not going to want to, but your eyes are the first thing you're going to open up because the first thing you're going to do is look for a baseball bat or a gun to go beat or shoot on anybody who is knocking on your fucking door at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, first thing, this is where somebody else came up with an idea that I had to give them credit for this, and I quietly told them when I did the question that they didn't have to put a giraffe up for their head because they came up with another creative answer that would have gone first. And they wrote the answer as your mind. Now, I started thinking about that going, wait a second. I guess your mind would be one of the first things you open because as soon as you hear the door knock, all those thoughts are going to be going through your head like, A, who the fuck is at my door? B, why the fuck are you knocking on my door? 3, why the fuck are you knocking on my door at 3 o'clock in the morning? And D, what kind of gun or baseball bat am I going to have to use to take you out because you were knocking on my door at 3 o'clock in the morning? Or, oh, it is my parents. So I don't need the gun, I just need the baseball bat so I can smack dad in the legs, grab grab an ATM card, throw it at him, and tell him to go up the street to the fucking truck stop and go eat breakfast at 3 o'clock in the morning while I'm getting over my 5-bottle of tequila hangover from the night before. End of discussion. Now, as far as the question goes, that's the end of that discussion. Now, the whole thing was done with giraffes, right? Now, giraffes are very cute, and I think they're a very good-looking animal. And there was a big joke going around that the people that started all of this were giraffe pedophiles. Maybe. But I don't see anybody trying to climb up that high to get a blowjob from a giraffe, so that would be kind of unique. And I just don't see it happening. However, I do agree, Jeanette, giraffes were a little too cute to use. For the Halloween season, I believe that they should have went with some of their favorite Halloween horror monster to replace their Facebook page. Because let's face it, putting a giraffe up over some people's picture profiles is a step up from the picture profiles they have in the first fucking place. Alright? So let's stick with this. Let's go with horror monster movies. At least they can keep on an even keel with the page and the profile picture they have at the current moment. Just a thought, folks. Just a thought. Now, as I said, had a great Halloween last night. I had a couple of people this last week get a little offended or upset with me about my whole women dressing slutty for Halloween thing. You know, the whole Neil Patrick Harris, slut up, girls. That's not how it was intended. It was intended to be sexy, not slutty. Okay? Now, around here, apparently a lot of you that do watch this took it to heed because a lot of you women had some very, very creative and cute costumes last night that weren't showing a whole lot of everything. And I give you kudos for that. You thought, you put your costumes together, it was great. However, some of you parents didn't put the same thought into your kids' costumes. Now, there were a lot of great kids' costumes last night. We actually had a Mario Batali show up, which I thought was cool. We had a Gordon Ramsay show up last night, which was awesome, because the little kid that showed up like Gordon Ramsay also had Gordon Ramsay's attitude, which to me was just excellent. And he had it toward his parents, which was even better. A couple of Iron Mans, a couple of other Avenger characters, you know, the normal stuff, fairies, ballerinas, you know, all of that. Common costumes, modern upgrades. Great job on the costuming on your kids last night, people, with the exception of one person. About 9:30 or 10 o'clock last night, we were just about done handing out candy when we got a knock on the door, and it was a little 10-year-old girl dressed as MTV Awards Miley Cyrus in the little gold outfit with half her ass hanging out, licking a plastic hammer. Okay, this joke, I mean, it does sound a little funny though, but on a 10-year-old, it may seem funny to the parents and stuff, but a lot of people obviously didn't get the joke. I got it, and I just wasn't that thrilled you put your 10-year-old up to this, alright? A 10-year-old girl should not be dressed in total slutwear, licking a fucking hammer, alright? Use your heads, people, a little bit. Use your heads on costuming. I mean, granted, I'm the type of parent that would have put my kids in Cheech and Chong outfits and sent them out because A, this is Colorado, and B, it's fucking funny. But, I don't know, dressing my daughter up to look like Miley Cyrus licking a hammer around town is not going to be very good when she goes back to school. However, she could be very popular with the boys on Monday when they go back to school. You never know. Anyway, I'm cutting this short. My throat's starting to get scratchy. I will see you next week because I am already fed up with the fact that I woke up this morning and turned on the TV and already saw 2 Christmas commercials, and it's not even fucking Thanksgiving yet. God. That's another rant for next Friday. You guys will love this one because it just goes back to all the old rants I've done about Thanksgiving and Christmas in the first place, and I think this time I'm actually gonna snap. Anyway, you guys have been great. Have a great weekend, peeps and poppets. Peace. I'm out of here.